Hello and welcome to episode 20 of Let's Play Planet Coaster Project Globe Explorer here on Theme Park Worldwide. I can't believe it, 20 episodes in to this epic park, and we've gone through so much together with this, all the different themed areas. Of course, we started way back with the United Kingdom and building all the entrance up with all the landscaped gardens and buildings around there, thinking about the monorail and pathways leading into the park, and now look at it, we're working on another brand new area, and this is all themed to Africa. It's going to be like an African town around here. We built the wooden roller coaster in the last episode, in episode 19, so check it out if you've not already seen it. And in this video, it's all going to be about the theming and actually completing this area. So really quite a quick build with this one. It's all going to be done across these 2 episodes, and then in episode 21, we'll be going into another themed area, but more about that later on. Firstly, let's talk about what else we're going to be seeing here, and as you can see, I'm starting to dig down now, ready to fill that with water and put in a boat ride. So my plan is to have 3 different rides within this area, so it's not going to be packed full of rides like the last couple of areas that I've done. They've got quite a lot going on, especially with the United States of America. There's more rides in that area than any of the others in the park. Of course, before that we did the Netherlands. Again, that's packed with quite a lot of rides. With this one, there's only going to be 3 rides. We've got the wooden roller coaster, we've got this little boat ride, and then I'm going to put in a flat ride, as you'll see later on. And as you can probably see, this is actually the longest episode in the series so far. So I thought, why not? Let's go all out and we'll celebrate. We'll do lots in this episode. It's action packed, especially with it being the 20th. I thought, let's go for it. So as you can see, put some water in there, changed all the terrain. It's meant that I've lost the water out of my main lagoon, so I just add that back in shortly. Obviously with the terrain editor in Planet Coaster, if you mess too much with around the edge, then yeah, you'll start to lose the water in other areas. So I just checked to make sure that that had all gone back in how I wanted it to. But yeah, this boat ride, the plan is to have some really nice scenes on here, a few crocodiles and hippos around, that'll be animatronics of course. We've got this rope bridge that's all going to be blocked off, have like a sign on there saying that the access is closed, something along those lines, and lots of rock work, planting, and some really different style buildings to what I've ever built in any of these series of Planet Coaster that I've done here on Theme Park Worldwide. So it's all going to look a little bit different, but yeah, we're going for this very sort of hustle and bustle African sort of village here. So we're not going like out in like the African savannah sort of with this. We're going for this, this quite busy sort of marketplace sort of area, lots of shops and all that sort of stuff, stalls, random bits of theming. It's going to have its own little airports here as well, and yeah, there's so much going on. So we've got this crashed plane that I'm putting in just here as well, as one of the scenes on board this ride. So the idea with this is it's kind of a little bit of a mini Jungle Cruise, if you like. Of course, Jungle Cruise is a popular Disney ride. It can be found at various Disney parks around the world. Getting a tongue twister there. Various different Disney, there we go, got it right, parks around the world. Can't be found at Disneyland Paris though. But yeah, it's located within the Adventureland themed area of the Disney parks, and you know what, it's a classic. You've got like your onboard skipper who does various different jokes, and that's kind of what we'll be going with this little boat ride. As you can see, we've got the 3rd and final ride that's going into this area, and it's a Gerstlauer Skyfly as well. So we're putting in all the queue line and everything for that, and yeah, that's why we're going for a bit of an airport, because I thought, why not? We're going to go for this small little airport, make a bit of a thing of it, that you can go there for your flying lessons, flying school, and that's exactly why we've put the Gerstlauer Skyfly in, because if you've been on Skyforce at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, that is one of those that we've got here in the UK, then you'll know that, you actually control it yourself to how many times you want to spin upside down. Granted, they're not very easy to control, but you do try and control it yourself. So that's why I thought we'll put that in, have it as like a bit of a flight school, and have a nice bit of sort of aviation, because it's a bit different, isn't it? You wouldn't necessarily think straight away, oh, Africa, airports, would you? Of course they've got them, but you'd think more about the animals and stuff. So I'm thinking, let's go a little bit different with that and go for this sort of African sort of flight school that we've got going on. Also, it may have only been, 4 days, since the last episode. The plan is to release 2 of these a week now here on Theme Park Worldwide. Of course, with everything going on at the moment, we are homebound, so it means that we're going to be based at home, got a lot more time for playing Planet Coaster, so the plan is to release 2 Planet Coaster episodes a week. Of course, there's lots of other content coming to Theme Park Worldwide as well, and I'll talk a little bit more about that later on in the episode as well. But I know a lot of you have been saying, let's see more Planet Coaster. Hopefully with everything going on, that means there's going to be more. It definitely does. We're going to carry on. I want to get this park done now, and we've got one more themed area that I'm going to be building after this. Then I'm going to be doing some hotels and the resort side to it, and then this park will be complete. And so it's been an emotional journey, but we're still not there yet. We've got still quite a lot more work to do, especially on the outside of the park, as you'll see. But already this Africa area coming together really well. Of course, I say it's got 3 rides, but technically you could say it's got 4, because it has got the train station that I've built in here as well, that connects up to that main transportation network that takes guests around the park. So here we go then. This is me starting with some different style African buildings now. Never done an Africa area in Planet Coaster before, and the closest thing I've done really was like a bit of an Indiana Jones ride that I built in the Studios park. So that's the closest kind of thing I've done to this. So the plan is to just kind of go wild with it, really, quite literally, and try some different stuff. As you can see there, you've got them nice walls that have got like the wooden blocks coming out of the side, like wooden tubes. Thought they look quite sort of what you'd see in Africa, that sort of style. Looking at Hotel Matamba at Phantasialand in Germany, that uses that style. Black Mamba, sort of station building, all that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going with there. Going to be using this pinky kind of colour as well, because I think that works. We want it quite vibrant. Obviously, you can't really do graffiti and stuff in this game, but that's kind of what I'd put on some of these buildings, like little, not necessarily, anything bad, but just loads of like little details, like wall art and graffiti on the walls that are all done in like patterns and things. That's kind of what I'd go for. Africa in Animal Kingdom at Walt Disney World is a beautiful area. Of course, you've got the town of Harambe there. You've got like the Lion King Theatre. It all fits really nicely, and you've got Kilimanjaro safaris. I would have loved to have done a big safari style ride in this park, but unfortunately that's what Planet Zoo's for. They haven't combined it like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, where they did combine it. You could actually do a safari park in your theme park, which I loved that side to it. That was the one thing with RCT3 that I really enjoyed, and the Fireworks Mixmaster as well. I thought the Fireworks Mixmaster was probably better than what you get in Planet Coaster, actually, which is rare, because I think most things about this game are better. But with RCT3, I think it was easy to do fireworks shows and stuff, and the fact that you can combine a zoo and also water parks as well. I'd love to have done a small water park here, but we can maybe look at using some of the water attractions to do something like that, but I just don't think it would be as good. I was thinking initially maybe that it could be done, but I don't really know now. Loving this building, what I've just done there. I really like that with the pink colour, very vibrant, looks quite, like this African sort of village, more simple building style, that we've got going on here. A lot of like maybe wooden sort of buildings and that sort of like concrete-y look what we're going for here, so it's coming together nicely. I've put down a lot of this wooden sort of fencing all the way around the area, so I thought I'm not going to show loads and loads of me doing it, because that'd be pretty boring to watch me just putting in fencing all the way around. But there's a lot of that fencing what's going to just pop up around the area, and you'll notice it every so often. I'll put like a 20-second clip in. Really, I spent about half an hour real time there and just putting fencing all the way around. At this point, as I was liking the building style that I was going for, decided to carry that on with the station building for this boat ride here. So, of course, there's a lot of theming and stuff, animatronics and that going to be going around the boat ride. But initially, you can start to see now how it's going to look. And of course, I'm going to need a name for it. Along with that, I'm going to also need a name for the Gerstlauer Skyfly that we've put in. So that's where you guys all come in, of course. My naming experts. I've already picked a name out for the wooden roller coaster. It may have only been 4 days ago since the last episode, but I've picked a name. So if you want your name to be chosen, you've got to be quick now, especially with me releasing 2 of these a week. So yeah, get your names coming in quick. So one for this boat ride and a bit of a backstory as well for this, and also for the Skyfly. Obviously, you know, with the Skyfly, you know, it's all themed around aviation and flight school. So think about that with your name. And this boat ride, look at the theming going around it. It's a bit of a Jungle Cruise style ride, you know, that we've got going on here. This African station building, a little tour around some waterfalls and some animals, that sort of thing, animatronics, a bit of like digging up and stuff going to be going on around it, piles of rocks and stuff. So yeah, just, you know, be creative with your name and storyline for this one. And with this one, it's going to be quite special because obviously I like to do a bit of funny onboard audio, don't I, with my rides and stuff. You saw that. If you saw episode 18, you know what was all about that and showcasing the park. And I hope it made you laugh. I had a good laugh filming it. But yeah, the plan is to do like an onboard voiceover for this. It's only about a 2-minute-ish ride, quite a short one, but we're going to do an onboard audio spiel, so with some jokes and stuff. So yeah, come up with something really fun that I can play with that. And like I say, if your name does get chosen from the comments down below, then yeah, you're going to get to hear me sort of turn it into a real life speech on the ride. So there we go. What a unique opportunity. We have a good laugh, don't we, on this, you know, and especially with us not being able to go to real theme parks at the moment with them being closed, it's perfect really to be able to spend more time on this and really go into more detail. And this Africa area, at this point I was starting to think, you know what, this is looking a lot better than what I was expecting, because I was unsure, you know, in terms of how to do a lot of African buildings and that sort of style. You know, I was really unsure where to go with this initially. So yeah, I'm really chuffed with how it's coming together so far. Loads and loads of details going to be going on to these buildings. You can see me there using all sorts of like different colours. You've got like a creamy whitewash brickwork colour there, all using that sort of wooden sticks coming out of the side, because I just think that makes it feel a lot more African and that feel of it that we're going for. Decided to take that building out there and replace it with this one. Just thought it looked a lot better with the bridge behind it. We'll add a door on there at some point leading out onto the bridge. Of course, it's not for guests to actually access. It's all part of the theming and immersing people into this area, really. But yeah, we've got the station building there now, putting in quite a simple roof. Wanted to use a lot of the roofs to be quite flat, actually. You know, they need to be, you know, there's no need to have a lot of like the slopey roofs and stuff like that. You know, we're in Africa, we've got a you know, much higher climate over there, and I looked on Google at lots of different images of buildings and stuff for inspiration, and of course looked more closer to home, you know, at some of the theme parks that have already got this style of area, even like Flamingo Land, some of their building style, you know, I really liked from some of theirs. I really like the thatch sort of roofing. However, what you've already got in the game is a bit too sort of fairy tale-ish to use, which is a shame, because I would have loved to have done even one like thatched building, but it's just not, you know, using that fairy tale style wasn't going to be right for the area. And you know, I did really consider it, but it just wasn't the right thing for me to go for. As you can see, I'm just working on the train station there now, just to get all of that right as well, and adding in some more of that lovely wooden fencing all the way around the side there as well. But yeah, it's coming together nicely, and as I see over the next couple of minutes, I start working on the area that connects New York over with Africa, just by building a bit of a tunnel that you walk through, so it's a bit more immersive than just sort of going up onto the bridge without anything, or coming down from New York into this, just to make it that little bit more immersive, have a nice transition. And you'll see me working on that, followed by some more theming around the boat ride shortly, and I'll be back in just a couple of minutes. So as you can see, the boat ride's really starting to come together now with all the rocks and various pieces of scenery all the way around the side. It's working on some more rocks there around by the bridge. It's all about landscaping and just making it feel quite natural around here as well. We've got a sandy terrain all the way around this. Again, been looking at images of certain like African villages and all that kind of stuff, just to get that ambient sort of feel right. You know, I just want it to look right. And it's harder as well when you've got, you know, a Spanish area at one side and then definitely a New York area at the other side of it, you know, to just get it right in the middle of everything. But in terms of sight lines and things, it's looking quite good actually. If you're looking towards the wooden roller coaster from the main paths around here, you know, you've got an unrestricted sight line. You know, you can't see over into the Spanish area and the huge coaster there, and obviously New York's kind of off to the side. If you are coming into the area from Spain, then yeah, you can see New York of course in the distance and the huge Giga Coaster, but when you're coming in from New York into the area for Africa, and then you know, you can kind of look over towards Spain in the distance, but it's not too intrusive at all. So, you know, in terms of sight lines, it's coming together well. It's something I've really tried to maintain as best as I can do throughout this whole sort of series and this whole park, to be honest, just making sure that the sight lines are as good as they can be. As you can see, we've got some animatronics coming in now. Here we go. Some quality audio animatronic action coming in. We've got these crocodiles that we're putting in here all the way around the side. A couple of those there, one up on the top. Going to go for some hippos in here as well. It's whatever we've got, really. Unfortunately, there's no lions. You know, I would have liked to have had some lions around the side and stuff, but, you know, I haven't really got any of those, which is a shame. But, yeah, putting those in. Not a huge animatronic scorpion. You know, I was debating putting a little build in and making it really cheesy and going for that. I looked at them dropping barrels effects and stuff, but then I thought, no, we're going too Indiana Jones with this. Let's keep it a bit more basic. Let's go for some workers digging into the rock there instead. And that's what you can see I've gone for with those. But yeah, in general, you know, we're looking quite good with this now. It's just about putting lots of little details in all the way around it. Just got the queue line entrance structure started to go in there. I add more to that later on. As you'll know with my building technique, I kind of start a little bit and then leave it for a bit and go and work on something else. That's just so it doesn't get too sort of monotonous. You know, I like to have a little bit of a break between things. You know, I wouldn't want to just do one building at a time. You know, I like to give it a little break. It's like I put the boat ride in, then I went off to do some other bits. Now I've come back to it, you know, to add some more theming and details in all around it. And the thing is with this area, you know, we're going for the most sort of natural look of it, you know, with there's things sort of chucked everywhere, and we've got like a big truck there at the side. You know, we've got of course the crashed aeroplane. You know, we've got a lot of stuff already in this area, and we're nowhere near done. There's a lot more to come all the way around. In terms of the boat ride, you know, it's quite short, you know, but it's not too bad of a length, about 2.5 minutes in total, the ride. So it's just a nice little family boat ride, because what we're going to be building in the next country that I'm going to be building is going to be something a lot bigger with a boat ride. I'm looking at building a dark ride next in my next area that I'm going to be building. So stay tuned for that in episode 21. We're going to do quite a large scale dark ride with a drop in it and a few other fun elements, and it's going to have a very different theme to anything I've ever built before in Planet Coaster. That's going to also be built inside a new themed area. It's not going to be in addition to an area, so yeah, I'm looking forward to sharing that. If you haven't guessed already, that's going to be built on the second spare plot of land that I've got, which is just in front of the Giga Coaster between the Netherlands and the America area. So it's going to be going on that plot of land, and that'll be all my waterfront space taken up then. There is actually space to build 2 more areas, however, I don't plan on adding into those yet. I would like to save those for future expansion, whether that's done by me or you guys in the future. You know, it's something that I may come back and do those, but yeah, I'm going to finish this Africa area, build 1 more, and then I'm going to work on the infrastructure outside the park to get it all looking nice, like the monorail station, the walkways from the car parks, putting in some more restaurants and shops and some hotels as well. So there's a lot going on. There really is, and like I say, you know, it's still so much to look forward to with this series. I'm not going to sort of guess how many episodes there are left, you know, because I don't know. Like, I don't like to rush these things. I could do an amazingly themed hotel that takes 3 episodes. You never know, or I could just do 1 an episode. It all depends on how things go, and again, how the game is running. In terms of FPS, it's not really got much worse over the past few episodes, actually. I mean, now it's a lot more dealable. Now we've got no people inside the park again. It's great. I mean, you know, the thing is I can keep building, and the worst case scenario is I won't be able to put as many guests back into it when I do open it with the additional changes and areas. But again, it's just something to follow and something to see. Of course, the key to it is building and showing you my building technique and how it all comes together. And I really hope that it helps you guys out there when it comes to playing this game. You know, I'm more about the theming and the experience. I'm not an expert coaster builder. You know, I don't spend hours and hours tweaking the track just to get it right. You know, that isn't me. I'm more about the overall theming and the package of it. And what we've done with this Africa village, it's just over the past few minutes just come alive a lot more. I mean, you zoom out on these areas now and look across, we've got some beautiful vistas, like some beautiful sight lines in this park. The wooden coaster kind of sits really nicely on this hill over at the back. We've got some rocks and trees going in there now. We've got a water tower going in just to the left. It's all about these little things, and because obviously we've not got like a mine themed area in this park, like a Wild West area, I've used some of the theming that you'd normally put in that kind of area here in the Africa section, because I kind of think it fits. You know, things like the scaffolding here, you know, things that you normally put in like a mine or an adventure area. You know, I think it fits really well. As you can see, we've got the little windmill going in there. That's all forming part of this mini little airport that we're putting in. It's going to be nothing fancy. You know, the idea is the runway, you know, is the ride, you know, with the aircraft going up. Barrels going in. It wouldn't be an area that I've built in Planet Coaster without a few barrels. I mean, we're not putting as many in as the Spanish area, because that's a winery, it's a vineyard, you know, that's what it's all about. But with this, we'll put a few little barrels in and a few smaller details around the side. Just blocking in them sight lines now to make them a little bit better on that left-hand side between the New York area. Of course, we're not going to hide all them skyscrapers, you know, and the 300-foot tall coaster. You know, it's not going to happen, but we can make it that little bit better. Someone did comment and say, why don't I put the brake run of the wooden roller coaster indoors? It is something that I thought about, and then I kind of thought, well, actually, with the name that I've picked and the storyline kind of that I'm going with behind it, that I don't think, you know, it'd fit that well having that indoors. But thanks for your suggestion, I do appreciate it, but I did want to keep it outside with just some more planting around. And talking of the name for the wooden coaster, shall I reveal what I've chosen? There was hundreds of comments, so thank you to everyone who commented with a name suggestion. I do really appreciate it. So here we go, the winning name. This is quite funny actually. I was just going to say the person, but then I thought I'd best explain it, because you might think I'm nicking a very popular ride name here. It's come from Nemesis Omega, so there we go. That's the YouTube user who's come up with it. I'm not calling it Nemesis Omega. I don't think that'd fit. Maybe if it was like a sci-fi area, that'd work, but there we go. And the name for this, now I'm going to struggle to pronounce it. The name we've gone for is Kukanyaga. There we go. So Kukanyaga, spelt with a K at the start, and then a U, then a K, A-N-Y-A G-A. There we go. Kukanyaga is the name for the wooden roller coaster. It's kind of like, in English, it translates to like stampede, you know, so that's what we're going for. So yeah, thank you very much to Nemesis Omega for coming up with that one. Do really appreciate it. Get your names coming in for the other two rides. Of course, we've got the African boat ride tour. That could be the name actually, couldn't it? But I'm hoping you guys come up with something a little bit better and more imaginative than that. And also the Gerstlauer Skyfly as well, that's all themed around like a flight school and learning to fly. And you know, there's a few flights going out every day as well, and you'll see me working on that area very shortly here in the game. Just starting to work now on the entrance area there for the wooden coaster. Of course, I'll be putting up the winning ride name on there on the entrance sign, ready for the next episode as well. This is quite a fun little idea I had. Let's, you know, have this sort of beam on the side of the building there that's like a guest services. Have it that this animatronic is digging the floor next to it and it breaks the beam. So, of course, that isn't actually supporting anything. It's just an effect. So people will walk around the queue line and it just moves every so often. I mean, if that was in real life, it'd be a lot less frequent. In fact, we could put that on a trigger, so when the wooden coaster maybe comes around that last section after the brake run, it could trigger the effect for the wall to go, and you could have like a sound effect there. You know, that's what I love about Planet Coaster. The triggers are fantastic, what you can do in the game. Just adding a few more details on that wooden coaster station now. Lots of wooden panels and all that kind of stuff, just to give it a bit more of a feel, and we'll put some more planting all the way around the back there as well. This is like the main sort of tower, one of the taller buildings actually within the African area. Got the door going on there now, which is for the rope bridge that of course leads over the top there. And again, a lot of these buildings don't really have a purpose. I don't put a lot in them. Of course, some are toilet facilities, guest services, first aid, food and drink outlets, and even some are restaurants. But you know, mostly what I do with the buildings is just for scenic purposes. I mean, that little airtime hill just looks a lot better in my opinion, having a building in front of it and one behind it. I said I wanted to have some structures that you sort of went through. You know, I kind of originally was going to go with like this feel of you actually going underneath things, and then I thought, actually no, let's put the buildings just very close on either side to create like a really nice sort of near miss moment. But we've got a train carriage going in here, so of course we know we've got the railway line, which is up at the top. From here we've got a station, so I thought let's sort of expand on that. I put a bit of fake track down shortly. I put this train carriage in like it's in storage, and a few of them tree trunks are down the side as well, just for a change from this other fencing, as you can see I've gone back to here. So yeah, just along one side there, we've gone for like this log style fencing. This is like my mini sort of airport building going in, so like a mini terminal if you like. Like I say, it's absolutely tiny. It's just got a little roof on, gonna have some signage on there. It's more about the ride that, you know, and the windmill that's the like the airport itself. But just we'll put this little building at the back. Of course, if this was a real park, that'd be holding all like your mechanics, the operators. Booth would probably go in there instead of it being out on a little booth like it is in the game. But yeah, we've got weekly flights coming out here from the airport to a total of 10 routes. But as this airport's not quite all as it seems, I think them signs need to be a little bit wonky, don't you? There we go. Let's add a bit of a wonk onto those so they're a bit slanted. Put some random bits on the side. Of course, it's not a massive, it's not like Heathrow or something, you know. It's a much smaller airport. Only like 10 flights, you know, going out to these different destinations, and yeah, mostly for people to practice their flying whilst they're out in the African savannah. But there we go. I'll leave you again for a couple of minutes as I continue adding some more details around this African themed area, and I must say it is coming together really, really nice now. So now it's really about adding some more finishing touches around the area. As you can see now, just putting in a new entrance structure over at the Gerstlauer Skyfly. I mentioned it earlier on, but I'll mention it again. Get them name suggestions coming in for both this ride and also the boat ride as well. And in a few days' time, when the next episode is released, that is when I'll reveal the names for the rides that I've chosen. as you can see now, just putting in another entrance structure over on the boat ride, using some barrels and just digging one onto the ground there, just to get the right sort of height that I wanted on those. I'm loving the colours throughout this area. I just think it comes together really, really nicely, like that pink building style. Got the train carriage there, train tours, there we go. It's all like random signs. I love that in theme parks, you know, there's a lot of like random signage and stuff. And of course, one of the final things that I always do is think about the lighting in the area. So just going around putting these lovely flame torches in, not putting loads and loads around because it doesn't need them, because these are really bright actually. Some of the ones that you use in the game aren't that bright at all, but these are fantastic. You'll see I had some bins in and also some benches around the park shortly as well. I tell you what, it's been an action-packed episode. Over the past half an hour, you've really seen this area turn from just literally a wooden roller coaster with a little sample of some buildings into a fully immersive themed area. It's come together so well, and in just a moment, we'll take a little ride on the boat ride, so you can see the full thing. You can think about the storyline that you're going to come up with, and a name suggestion for that as well. So here we go. Let's take a nice overview of the area. You've got all the rides going around. The Woodies just going up the lift hill. Boats are dispatching on the boat tours. As you can see, the Gerstlauer Skyfly, that is going around there as well. Lovely with the two waterfalls, the buildings. It's come together lovely, really nice area. And of course, it's got some really nice viewing as well. Two viewing areas looking towards the lake for a nighttime show that could take place on there as well. So here's a little look at your boat ride. We just dispatched from the station a few seconds before that, just so you can see it. Whilst we're all sitting on board this boat ride together, I may as well tell you about some of the other things we've got on Theme Park Worldwide. Of course, we are going to be uploading daily videos here on the channel as usual. We've done that for quite a long time now, and the plan is to carry on with daily uploads for the foreseeable future. That'll include 2 episodes of Planet Coaster per week. Along with that as well, we're going to be filming some more top 10 videos. Another one of those is only a few days away now. Going to be filming some reviews of theme parks that I've been to and different rides, and also carrying on with our Remembering series as well, which is all about rides and attractions that are no longer with us. Along with that, we're going to be carrying on with doing some live streams. So we did our first ever Theme Park Worldwide live streams last week. I did one, then me and Charlotte did one. There's going to be another one coming up in a few days' time, and there'll be some more details about that on our social media pages. So if you follow us on social media, it's Facebook, Theme Park Worldwide, on Twitter at Theme Park WW, and Instagram, Theme Park Worldwide as well. Give us a follow on there. Oh, watch out for the crocodile. Not on social media, on the boat ride. And yeah, of course, give us a follow and you'll be able to find out when our next live stream is going to be. And this is actually going to be a quiz. Of course, if you're watching this at any point in the future, completely ignore the fact that we're going to be doing some live streams, unless you'd like to watch them back afterwards, which we do really do appreciate as well. I know a lot of people who haven't been available to watch them live have enjoyed watching them back after just as much so. So we do really appreciate your support here at Theme Park Worldwide. There you go, that's your boat ride. That was just enough time for me to tell you about what's coming up, wasn't it? Let's move over then towards the wooden coaster in just a moment, so you can see that. A few sort of off-ride shots here of the boat ride. We've got the waterfall. Oh, a nice sort of low level just attached to the boat. Is that a GoPro on a suction mount, like attached to the side of the boat there? The Skyfly, the windmill running around in the background. Just see that Mac double launch coaster peeking over the top. And here we go, it's time to ride the Woody. So let's see what this is like now with all the theming in. You saw it in the previous episode where there was no theming at all. It was all blank. So let's see how much better it looks now that we've got the theming in. So yeah, I'm really pleased how this has come together. Not your typical sort of GCI layout with this one. It's very, very different. But I wanted those Millennium Flyer trains on there. Struggling to say that then. Maybe because it's been a longer episode. I'm not used to it. It's been a long one, but it's been really, really good. And we've all got a lot more time on our hands now. So it's certainly a good time to get more into Planet Coaster and release as much as I can for you guys to enjoy. And it helps me whilst I'm missing the theme parks. There we go. I actually sat here with my hands up in the air then. There we go. Straight down, back under that lift hill. Yeah, we've got all the rocks, trees round the side. Looks a lot better now, doesn't it? Really, really nice. Up there into the airtime. Bit of a mystery because it's quite low to the ground. It's a bit of a terrain coaster. Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery what's coming up. Oh, that's nice. Through the buildings, great view of the area. New York in the distance. quite a bit of airtime over that first section. Double down into that finale helix. Oh, that's lovely. Yeah, it's really come together nice. It's not too fast, it's not too intense, it's just a really good family roller coaster. That's what I wanted it to be. And the park was crying out for a Woody, let's face it. You know, we've got various other different rides. We've got a spinning coaster, launch coaster, giga coaster, you know, flawless. We wanted to make sure that we did something different. So, you know, a Woody's fit in really well here. A few off-ride shots for you all now. Climbing up that lift hill just so you can see that. That's the beauty of this game. You can press a button into cinematic mode and it does some cinematic shots of your ride from all around and various different angles. I think that's a really nice, cool little feature. What's great about this, you turn around that corner at the top, you get an amazing view across the Africa area, and then you look straight across the lake. I mean, how nice of that is a view. Gorgeous, isn't it? Really wanted to make sure the drop faced the lake. That was a big thing for me when designing this ride. Of course, if you do need any tips, comment down below. Let me know your favourite part of the Africa area. You know, how would you rate it against other areas that I've built? You know, is it one of your favourites? Is it one of your least favourites? Let me know your thoughts. You know, me personally, I really do like what I've done with this Africa area. It's probably one of my favourite areas, actually. You know, maybe my third favourite area that I've done in the game. I just think it's come together really nice. I like the Spanish area the most. Then I'd probably say United Kingdom, and then this. You know, they're my three top areas. But let me know your favourites and top three. Let me know your top three, actually. Yeah, why not? Top three favourite areas that I've built down below in the comments. As I'm sure you're all aware by now. Oh, we're rocking a bit. I don't know why we're rocking, because there's nobody on other than these test dummies, unless they're animatronics and they can move it. Likewise, as I was saying, we're getting sidetracked then. I do read and reply to as many comments as possible. I read every single one, so I may either comment back or give you a little heart on your comment there as well. I do really appreciate all of your support, especially in these difficult times for the world right now. It's important we all come together and just, you know, stay safe, stay at home, and of course play Planet Coaster as well. You know, if you want to get out there to the theme parks, this is the next best thing. You know, building your own theme park, you can ride the rides and have nearly just as much fun as going to the real parks, and some would say even more, because you can be as creative as you want. You can build the tallest rides you want, theme them as much or as little as you want to, as much patience as you've got. But that's the key to this game, patience. But 20 episodes in, and that is all. Thank you very much for watching. I'll be back with episode 21 in just a few days' time here on Theme Park Worldwide, where we're going to start work on a new continent. Antarctica is coming to Atlas Adventure Resort. Thank you very much for watching, and that means it's time to cue those credits. See you all in the next episode.